We cannot make headway against the tax structure. People are paying 50% of what they make in taxes. That means that whatever you create in your lifetime, half of it goes to taxes. And according to the papers that I read, there's not even any accounting for where that goes in the federal government, and that needs to change.
I was very disappointed some years ago when the Federal Department of Education lost, well, I think it was $2 billion as in B dollars. $2 billion. They lost it. They had a General Accounting Office audit, and they couldn't find it, Jim. Isn't that disgusting?
Well, the old government joke is a few billion here, a few billion there. Pretty soon you're talking real money. The unfortunate thing is that those billions, think how many lifetimes of people are wasted throwing away those billions of dollars.
It's tremendous. It's tremendous.
If your working lifetime is $1 million, maybe $2 million, that's a lot of people's lives wasted to make up $1 billion.
Yeah, we just gave $1 billion to Pakistan a couple months ago to be our friend.
We've given $3 billion to Israel. We've given a couple more billion to Egypt. Billions and billions just given away.
If you, Jim Hill, are elected to Congress, would you continue that policy of buying friends with our taxpayers' money?
You don't buy friends, William.
I agree.
Not with money, you don't.
So you're going to take a non-interventionist foreign policy. You're going to stop trying to buy foreign countries friendship that only lasts till the next war, right?
Absolutely. I would take a meat axe to the budget for foreign aid. Absolutely.
A meat axe?
A meat axe.
But
we're talking wipe it out.
That would leave, Jim, that would leave people with a lot more spending money. They would actually have money they could spend, real money.
That's exactly correct.
And you want to do that for the working people?
I would like to do that for the working people, you bet.
Well, I think the Democrats ought to vote for you in droves.
I hope they do.
But they've got this own candidate, this woman who was a nurse once named Lois Capps, who seems to be afraid to come on my show, and I've invited her. I'm inviting you again, Lois Capps. You're welcome to come on Second Thought here. Just contact me, bjwagener@hotmail.com. I hope she comes. I would like to question her about some things, but you just noticed she just sent out a free mailer to everybody, didn't she?
Yes, she has, of course, the congressional franking privilege, which allows her to have free postage to put her views across. One of the things that I noticed in there was the discussion of the nursing shortage in this area, and she, of course, has been a registered nurse, and so she has some views on that. Her proposal, as stated in her newsletter, is to provide federal funding for scholarships for nursing programs, and that would be repaid by the nurses working in areas, donating their time apparently for areas where there was a nursing shortage, such as San Luis Obispo County. And I was concerned about that. That looks to me like if someone's got their arm broken, putting a Band-Aid on their leg. That's not going to correct the problem. It doesn't address the cause of the problem, in my view. The cause of the problem, in my view, is poor education at the grade school level and through high school, preparatory to nursing school. And scholarships for nursing school is not going to solve the problem. Cuesta College has a great nursing program. And what does it cost to go there? This is a community college, costs $100 or $200. The problem is not that people that can't afford to go to school there. What are the problems? Well, a couple years ago, Cuesta changed their admissions program policies for the nursing program, no longer allowing the people who had the highest grades to get into the program. But it was that's correct. The
highest grades doesn't get you into the program?
You know, there's one of my favorite stories is the person who graduates at the top of their class is the valedictorian. Then you have the salutatorian right up at the top. In medical school, do you know the guy who graduates at the very bottom of his class? Do you know what that guy's called?
No.
Doctor. Do you want that guy to perform operations on you?
Well, at least not on my brain anyway.
That's the policy that the Cuesta nursing program adopted. How would you feel if you'd gone through years of schooling?
That's outrageous. It's just outrageous.
To get the best grades that you possibly could and said, Once you finally decided, yes, you wanted to be a nurse, you went through and got all of the education required, you worked hard to get high grades, now you're told, oh, no, we're going to have a lottery, we're not going to go with high grades. In my view, that's the same kind of thing as doctor, and Lois's program is not going to help that.
It's not going. It's just going to make it worse.
It's just going to make it worse. Now,
Well,
what will solve the problem?
What will solve the problem?
Again, I think we have to address it with changing the basic structure of our elementary and secondary schools. The problem with the nursing, when people get into colleges and nursing school, if they haven't had basic math, biology, anatomy, physiology, core classes like that, they're not ready for nursing school. I don't care how much federal money is thrown away under a bogus scholarship program. So how do we improve grade school education? Well, we've got a great chance to do it right now and lower taxes at the same time. That is by having educational vouchers that parents of school-age kids would be able to use in the school of their choice. This could be a parochial school, could be a private school, a secular private school. We have to introduce competition into early education. And
well, I think that's a marvelous plan, Jim Hill. The one advantage you've got over Don Regan is you know you're going to be in the November ballot because you've got no primary opposition, do you?
That's correct. As a libertarian.
You're the libertarian candidate, and you've got some outstanding ideas. And I was frankly a little disappointed in Mr. Donald Regan not wanting to just come out and abolish the income tax, because Bill Benson proved a long time ago it's an illegal, fraudulent tax, and has been since 1913.
That's correct. The income tax was fraudulently administered, but just try to not pay your taxes and see what happens. The feds are going to come after you. Government is not benevolence, government is force, and they will come after you with force if you decline to pay taxes.
Well, I think the people in Waco, Texas saw and paid with their lives with that deadly force our government illegally used against Mount Carmel Church members, the Branch Davidian and Seventh-day Adventist, and incinerated them. And it still bothers me that so many of you people out there have not yet written to Lois Capps. No, you haven't. Write her a note. Pick up the phone, call her, and say, hey, we need to indict Janet Rito for mass murder. You haven't done that. If you're elected to Congress, Jim, will you see that there's an indictment charge at least lodged?
Absolutely. That's a wound that hasn't healed and won't heal until a proper investigation is made and charges are investigated.
Well, we've only got about 1 minute left here, Jim, and we're going to go to our Christmas Santa scene out in Napomo here. So if you've been waiting for that, it's coming up here in about a minute. Jim Hill, you got any last-minute thoughts you want to get across here?
Well, just another point on the education vouchers issue. Giving people vouchers, I would also propose to eliminate the Federal Department of Education. This is just tons of bureaucrats with your money going to support bureaucrats and not support education. Therefore, taxes can be reduced. The vouchers would improve the quality of education, and the nursing shortage would go away.
Sounds wonderful to me, Jim. I hope you get a lot of votes in November. Will you come back and talk to us some more on some other issues?
I'd be glad to.
Okay, Jim Hill, thank you for being with us here in Central Coast for the 23rd Congress.
Well, I like what Jim Hill had to say.
I did too.
Yeah.
Jim Hill, candidate for the 23rd Congressional District against incumbent, what's her name? Capps.
Oh, Lois.
Lois, yes. Who's been invited to come on the show? And I guess she's just afraid. She goes on Peter's warm, friendly, fuzzy show, but she won't come here. Well, we'll ask the tough questions. But I like what Jim had to say. I'm sorry Proposition 38 didn't pass. It was really a good thing. It got slammed so bad. And believe me, I know about being slammed right before the election. And when certain powers that want to protect their turf, it actually was bad for the teachers to do what they did, the public school teachers, to slam 38. It actually would have created more job opportunities for them.
Right.
They could have started their own private schools. they could have retired from the public system and started a private school and learned from their 20 or 25 years of experience as a public school teacher how not to do it. And those teachers then could have started their own private schools. And I don't know if Jim Hill would agree with me on that, but let's see if we can. Let's see if we can get him back here again. But it would take a lot of power to get him back here, Susan.
We can do that.
We can?
We can, sure. Let's bring him on live. We'd like to have him.
You got
join us.
that power?
Of course. And look who we have.
Wow.
It's Jim Hill. You brought him back.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
How did you do that, Susan?
Magic.
Magic? You sure it wasn't the Holy Spirit?
Oh, could have been.
Could have been. I think the Holy Spirit has more power. Jim Hill, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thanks
for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we've been listening, and actually there's been some people interested in you as a candidate for the 23rd District, and we had some more questions.
Yeah, we were talking about the, well, a number of things on the last tape. One thing I was interested in finding out more about is the promotional flyers that Lois Capps has out. There's a, we have stuff flying everywhere.
I got one of these too. Did you get one of these, Susan?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
She hasn't picked you up on her list.
No.
You got one, right, Jim?
Yes, I got one.
They're being circulated everywhere.
This is called the franking privilege. Is this fair that the incumbent gets to mail this out to all the voters when election time comes around, and she doesn't have to pay the postage? The taxpayers pay for this, and it really is a vote for me type thing, but it doesn't say that.
That's right, and that, it goes back a long way in U.S. history, where incumbent politicians do a lot of things for themselves. For example, they don't have to pay Social Security taxes, and they exempt themselves routinely from a lot of laws that we have to comply with.
Whoa, Mr. Hill.
Really?
Whoa, stop, hold everything. Do you say that again? The Congress people do not have to pay Social Security taxes like us regular citizens? Is that what I heard you say?
That's exactly correct.
You said that's correct. They don't have to pay.
They routinely exempt themselves from the laws that they impose on the rest of us. That's right.
And Lois Capps is one of those people.
Lois Capps certainly is one of those people. The newsletter that she puts out is actually, as I said, it goes back a long way in U.S. history. It's authorized by law, and she has what's called the franking privilege, which allows her to mail this out for free, and basically she can...
well, it's not really free. Somebody paid for it, didn't it?
It's no charge to her, of course.
It's a charge to...
the taxpayer.
Us, the taxpayers. Hello, that means you. I hope you took a minute to look at this disgusting thing that Lois Capps sent out. Every incumbent congressperson does it because you paid for her free information she sent to you. It wasn't free at all. You paid for it. I'm glad you raised it up, but there's some things in it that bothered you, weren't there, Jim?
Well, there's a number of things in it. This talks about her proposal for nursing, where she wants the nurses to put in free time in exchange for scholarships, and again, that's not going to solve the problem. Talks about how she voted for the so-called Patriot Act, which is the one that, the one that
she actually brags about that?
That's what it says.
Can you find that part where she says she voted for that?
Her words are, after much deliberation, I also voted for H.R. 2975, comprehensive anti-terrorism legislation. This bill gives law enforcement agencies new authority.
Wow.
New authority to investigate and conduct surveillance on suspected terrorists.
To sneak into people's homes if they think you're a terrorist.
That's right.
Here's one of those things that she voted for. Now, these are your civil liberties going down the tubes. One, police can sneak into someone's house or office, search the contents, and leave without ever telling the owner they've been there. Now, you're sitting there in your couch potato position. Think of a few hours before you got home today or tonight, whenever you're watching this, the police had snuck into your house, searched through your house, and left and never told you. How would you feel about that? Just maybe they thought you were a terrorist, or they made a mistake and went to the wrong house. They can do that now, right, Jim?
They can do that now.
And Lois Capps voted for that.
Lois Capps did indeed vote for that.